Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Elite Kicks back with the weekly video. Before we jump into today's video, guys, thank you so much for the continued support. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. The channel is growing every single day, and I definitely appreciate the support. So we're going to start with a new series here on the channel called Talks with Your Average Sneakerhead. Just any tips they can provide, any information that they have, just to sort of see the interaction between the channel and the average sneakerhead. Today we're going to be talking with the Sneaker Doctor. His Instagram handle is _Sneaker Doctor _. Without further ado, let's take it away. So why don't we get into this right here? Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, how you got into the sneaker game, and how long you've been in the sneaker game.
All right, so my name is Michael. I go by the Sneaker Doctor on Instagram. I've been reselling sneakers for probably a year, and I've been wearing sneakers ever since high school, but never was really like into it. But recently, like my all-time grail was always the Jordan 11 Breds. And about a year and a half ago, I was looking at getting them, and I saw that they were going for like $190, and I couldn't find them anywhere under like $350 or something. So I'm like, how is this even possible? Like, where can I get these shoes? And I was looking at StockX, and then I did more research, and I was looking, and I just stumbled upon pretty much Sneaker Reselling, and I'm like, well, I want to get these shoes for $190, I don't want to pay $350.
Right.
So after looking around, doing some research, I was like, well, this is something I could probably do. And I just started off getting a couple wins on sneakers, and as I got more into it, just kept building more shoes, and now
it basically took off from there, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You started building. So why the name the Sneaker Doctor? Like, talk to us a little bit about that. Why the Sneaker Doctor?
Okay, so I'm actually a registered nurse. That's my full-time job. Right. And to be honest, I don't know why the Sneaker Doctor. I'm in the medical field, and Sneaker Doctor kind of like had a ring to it. It was unique, so
it does have a nice ring to it. I'll give you that. It definitely does. That's for sure. All right, cool.
Yep.
So you talked a little bit about the Breds that was kind of like your grail. That was really a shoe that you were into. Is there any other silhouettes that you're like, oh man, any silhouette like a 1, a 4, a 3, like if it comes out, you're like, I need this for my collection. Like, is there any other grail out there that you still haven't acquired that you're looking to get?
Oh, there's a bunch of grails that I haven't acquired yet, because like Jordan 1 Travis Scott's, that's probably one of my grails now, the Mochas. Yeah. But I can't pay $2,000 or whatever it is. But
yeah, that's that's a lot of change, man. That's a lot of change. That's
it's steep. You know how many sneakers that is to resell?
Yeah. The interesting thing is, like, if you think like that. Oh, well, let me ask you this: like, if that Travis Scott one didn't have Travis Scott's name to attach to it, do you think it would be worth $2,000?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I
just because of the backwards swoosh, I don't think so.
Right, exactly, right. So, cause like we saw the 2s come out this week, and I don't know, like, so I got a pair, right, after a whole hassle and everything like that, but like it doesn't look that good, and it's a 2, but like because it's like a collab, everything is kind of like people are like, oh, I need to get this, So
exactly, yeah. And it's a lot more limited. It isn't just like released in all the Foot Lockers and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But, so like what for you is like the most frustrating part about the sneaker game?
Probably how much it changes all the time. Like at one point I was like with Flex, when the algorithm was, if you have the most points, you get the shoe pretty much, Like, it's just always changing. Like, now it's the sweet spot, from what I've been, like, from my personal experience, the sweet spot's around like 100 to 800K, 300 to 500 being the best. So,
See, it's just so interesting to me, like, the change in the algorithm, because, so, like, I have multiple Flex accounts, right? So, like, my wife has a Flex account, too. Like, my Flex account that has the most points, which I think, like, is, like, something, I'm thinking the 2 million range. For some reason, that account, like, still consistently hits. But, like,
Really?
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. My account that has, like, 500,000, which I thought would hit, has I think it hit like one time in the past like couple of months, right? And it was on like a toddler size shoe. But like for example, like the Yeezy Zebras that came out, like my huge account was the one that hit, not my smaller accounts. That's what I'm saying. Like the algorithm like is so weird because like I think you're right. The sweet spot is that 100 to 800K. And I've heard people say like, oh yeah, if you've got this huge account, it doesn't hit anymore. But like for some reason, like I don't know, my account's still hitting from time to time, I guess. Oh. Yeah,
I guess there's just a lot more variables. I was personally told by one of the managers at Champs that doing the surveys will boost your likelihood of winning, like boost you in the algorithm. I don't know if he just said that just because he like it also boosts their store if they get more like surveys done, or if it's factual, but I have not put it to the test.
That brings up a good point. Someone told me that, and I will say, like, that account that hits the huge account, I actually do the surveys on that account, now that I think about it. I don't know. So maybe that is actually one of the factors that Flex uses. But, I mean, I think you're 100% right. Like, their old algorithm of, like, you get the most points, you get the shoe. I think that's out the door at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I miss it, though. So much.
I miss it a lot, too, because it's almost like a guaranteed pair. Like, you knew you were going to hit it, right? You just knew you were going to get it. You're like, oh, I just need the most points, and I'm good to go. Because I remember when the Hyper Royals came out, you and I were going back and forth on that, and it was kind of like, I think we were like in the 1 million range or something like that, and it was just like, we were kind of like hesitant that we were going to hit, but we kind of knew in the back of our minds, okay, we have a lot of points here, we're probably going to hit, you know?
Yeah, so, exactly.
Nowadays, it's just completely different. But yeah, so talk to me about the reselling game that you kind of introduced yourself with. Like, where do you mostly resell? Like, Instagram, apps? Do you do local sales? Like, where is your kind of bread and butter?
So it's actually recently changed a lot for me. I sell mostly on Instagram to other resellers or to just like my following. But I've actually started dipping into selling on StockX, Goat, selling on the consignment shops such as Stadium Goods, which is not talked about at all in the sneaker game, which should be, because they're a very profitable organization. But actually I've been selling bricks a lot lately. I've gotten into that because it's harder to consistently get these new releases. But bricks you can get anytime, any day, and you can sell them for $20 a profit and get 10 pairs like it's nothing, you know?
Yeah. No, that profit definitely adds up. So talk a little bit about the consignment places, because that's something I've heard of but never dived into, and it's not really talked about that much. Like, how does that process work? What are their fees like? What do you ultimately get back?
So Stadium Goods, you can send up to, I believe it's 10 shoes, and you pay just like $12 for shipping. And Jordan 1 mids, Jordan 1 lows are probably the best, mostly because they hike up their prices. They sell them for a lot more than like StockX and Goat do. Mm-hmm. Like they sell probably like Jordan 1 mid Armory Navies for probably like 180 to 200.
Jeez.
But they take a 20% chunk out of it, which is a lot more than Goat and StockX.
Right. Okay.
So that's why Jordan 1 lows and mids are so good, is because like if you sell a pair for $300 and you're paying 20% of that, that's $60.
Right.
But if it's a mid or a low, it's only about like $40. It's a lot less, you know what I mean?
Right. No, that's definitely interesting. It's something that I haven't dived into yet, but it's definitely something interesting. Well, let me ask you this. Have you done any local sales or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. In Oklahoma City, I haven't done as much. I'm still shipping back to all of my customers back in Florida mostly. But yeah, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, those are great places. I've met a lot of like really consistent customers through them. It's really helped. Yeah,
so that makes sense. So you're saying consistent customers. So like once a customer comes to you and you get them the shoe, they're consistently coming back to you, right?
Yeah, a bunch of repeat customers, and it's not only them, they tell their friends about you, then their friends are coming to you, and it's a domino effect.
I gotcha. So let me ask you this: like, have you done like sneaker meetups before? And then the folks that are listening out there, like, is there any tips for them that if you have done sneaker meetups, like either one, how to stay safe, location, things to do? Because there's a lot of things floating out there, like, hey, don't. When you do sneaker meetups, like, be safe, go to like a police station or something like that. So if you've done like local meetups, we'd love to hear what your thoughts are about that in terms of staying safe, any tips you have about local sales.
So what I do for local meetups a lot of the times is I either go in front of a bank, which there's always recordings in front of a bank. You can go, I never go usually unless I've done multiple deals with someone. I don't go at night. I always go in the middle of the day. But yeah, that's mostly my two main things is I go somewhere where there's a lot of people, where I know there's cameras, and we're in the middle of the day.
Perfect, man. Perfect. So, you talked a little bit about getting bricks, getting a lot of pairs and stuff, but like, what are some tips that you have about the new sneakerheads out there that are just getting into the game about, how to get a hold of sneakers and folks, or even just folks just struggling to even, catch a pair out there?
There's so much tips I could give on this. So I've learned a lot about, so when I first started reselling, for some reason I had the mentality that it was either you buy it for retail or you just don't get the pair, like it's a bust. But recently, since I've been in Oklahoma City, there's only one real good mall that has sneakers. So the chance of you getting multiple pairs is very slim because there's only one Champs, one Foot Locker, and one JD Sports. So paying resale is not a bad thing. You can pay resale, pay like $30-$40 on their ass, do payout, whatever, and make $20, $30 a pair. Like that adds up a lot. I would prefer to flip multiple pairs for $20 to $40 profit than sell one pair for $60-$50 profit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that not only get you more sales, but also get you more sales with more people, so you're making more connections, you build your brand faster, and that's just the way I've been doing it lately.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's definitely a very good point. So you talked a little bit about building your brand. So talk to us a little bit about how you were able to get your Insta account to 3,000 followers, because that is a huge following. Like, any tips you can provide to people who are like, hey, I'm just getting into this, I've got 10 followers or 50 followers or something like that. Just talk to us a little bit about that, how you were able to get that kind of following out there.
Yeah, so I actually have been very lucky with some customers that know a lot of people, and I sell it to them, they post it on their story. What I've been recently doing that I don't think really no other reseller is doing is I'll give my customers about $10 off of their next pair if they just post it on their story. And anyone that they bring to me that says their name, like, hey, so-and-so sent me, I'll give both of them $10 off their next pair. I feel like no one's rewarding loyalty around the sneaker game, and anyone can get sneakers from anywhere. So I'm just trying to do something different, and that seemed to help a lot as well.
Okay, so but that's smart, man. That's definitely smart, having a promotion and stuff like that, giving folks $10 off because they're inclined to come back and say, okay, look, I got a $10 coupon. Let me get my pair from this guy that I know who was recommended to me from somebody else. I will say that when I posted my video last week and I said we were going to be talking, I actually had a couple of people DM me saying that you were a really good guy. I think one of the guys' names was Sneaker Addict or something like that. I think he's based out in Pittsburgh or something. He was telling me that he's done a lot of deals with you, and a lot of people were messaging me that you definitely have a solid brand out there.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, Sneaker Addict is... I aspire to be that man. He is always getting so many new releases. It's unreal.
Yeah, his it's crazy. Sometimes I'll check his story. I'm like, how did he get 3 pairs of the Georgetown 1 highs?
Right?
It's he's definitely got the hookup. So he definitely knows what he's doing in this game. That's for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that and TikTok is another big thing that I haven't really dabbled into yet. But if you want to grow your brand, that's where it's at. Get into TikTok.
Yeah, I've definitely heard about that a lot. TikTok is definitely another avenue where you can, grow your YouTube channel. You can grow your Instagram following, because there are some people who are just on, for example, TikTok, and there are some people who are just on Instagram, or some people who are just on Twitter. So it's almost like you have to, use all these various social media platforms to continue growing your brand.
That's 100% correct. Yep.
So. And man, so that's all I had. That's what I wrote down in terms of things that were juggling through my mind. Is there anything else you want to say to all the people that are going to be watching this video, who are going to be reaching out to you? I'll turn it over to you.
Well, I would like to say, like, so you kind of redirected me towards sneakers. I used to not do sneakers anymore, like, because I just used to take L's. But I feel like sneakers is, to be honest, going to be one of the main platforms to get new releases from here on out, because with Foot Locker getting less pairs, I feel like we're going to maybe see less and less of like Shoe Palaces, Foot Lockers, all them getting less pairs. You know what I'm saying? I think sneakers is kind of like Nike is trying to take over just for themselves or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's going to be your best place to get sneakers in the future.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. And I feel like I repeat this constantly in my videos, is you got to get those multiple accounts. Getting those multiple accounts and establishing a certain size and stuff, like, it definitely impacts the algorithm so much, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. And then once you start consistently hitting on sneakers, like, you'll learn more and more about how to, like, oh, I did this differently, or I did this differently. So it's just a really crazy algorithm sneakers uses. I will say I definitely prefer sneakers algorithm to the confirmed app algorithm. So
oh yeah, most definitely.
So that is going to be the video for today, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Next week, I'm very excited to drop this video. A lot of you have been asking about, we're going to be talking about tips and tricks and how best to cop on the Adidas Confirmed app. Until next week, everybody, take care.